Hey, good evening, guys. Loman02 here. Currently getting ready to play in the 100 card singleton event. We are playing 4-color blood again. Only significant changes have been in the sideboard. So the sideboard has significantly changed this time around. Expected less blue decks this time, as we've kind of been running them out with this style of deck. Stick out the choke and the boil. Added in Thragtusk, as well as Dark Blast. Two cards that are good against aggressive decks. Give you some time in the early game, and then also just come back from way behind in the mid to late game with Thragtusk. Also packing Rest in Peace just against reanimation strategies in case there are some of those out there, as well as Containment Priest for the same. Another main deck change was Winter Orb, taking out one of the minors and putting in Winter Orb, because I think Winter Orb is just a more powerful card. And in the right matchups, it's game. Against Control, it's game. Against like big tap out green decks where you just Doomblade or go for the throat with their thing, and they're tapped out, and all their stuff costs like 4 to 6 mana or more. Winter Orb just tends to do the job, especially if we can get underneath what they're doing. So I kind of like that. Still have Fire Covenant in there. I have not gotten to use the card since I put it in, and I'm kind of hoping at some point I get to. It's in there really for the aggressive matchup, so on like turn 2 or 3, if we get ramp, we can just wipe them out. It's kind of the idea. Reclamation Sage, pretty obvious. Same with Golgari Charm. Golgari Charm, obviously flexible card. Reclamation Sage, against the enchantments and artifacts. Not as much like the big ones, but like the smaller ones, kind of like Blood Moon or like Back to Basics. That's kind of why it's in there if we end up seeing something along those lines. And then just a lot of low-end interaction against the aggressive decks right here. And yeah, even in the 2 spot a little bit with a Zealous Persecution and Fire Covenant and then Obstinate Baloth. So we have a good package, I think, against aggressive based decks or mid-range based decks, as well as other 4 or 5 color decks. So should be a fun day. Hopefully the deck does well, and hopefully we play well. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll be back as soon as the game starts. Alright guys, looks like we are live. And unfortunately our opponent had to wait for a little bit. This hand is good. We will keep it. We have a turn 2 Sylvan Caryatid. Okay, white aggro. Maybe Gasali Pride Mage, I think will be fine. Oh, cool. Well, we'll just put this thing out. If he wants to remove it, that's okay. I can still have a Sylvan Caryatid on turn 2, and it blocks pretty well. Maybe we still should have gone for Shambling Vet there. No, I think it was right to ramp, just in case we draw something. Right now, it really doesn't allow us to do any more. So I don't intend on blocking this little thing. Matter of fact, the flying may be relevant on the birds. Okay, an Elite Inquisitor. Cool, take 2. Opponent's down to 4 cards. Well, that's certainly a good one. Well, actually, next turn we're at a lot of mana. And we do have removal. Question becomes, do we go for a sword next turn? I don't think we do. Well, we'll probably block. Now, if he has, like, one of the enchantments, he'll do 6 damage to us. But we'll be able to blow it up, I think. So, yeah, worst case, this is the 3 mana Vigilance +1/+1 enchantment. Okay, well, it's just a Bygone Bishop, which I think we're going to let bygones be bygones and kill that thing. One, I don't really want the flyers. And 2, the question becomes, no, we probably do it on our turn, just to avoid blowout removal. In the next turn, we can get in there with the sword. Okie doke, you're dead. Don't really want him to get a card engine going. And now, even if he has the enchantment, we have decent blocks. Although, I may just go for the sword. As simple as that play is, I think it'll be good. Could have like a Geddon, but Geddon would not be good here. I think we win the battle if it's a Geddon effect. Yeah, let's see. Okay, a council's judgment. Okay. Well, what do you name? Probably the Casale Pride Mage. Okay, well, you're going to get 2 damage in, but I'm probably just going to blow up your Elite Inquisitor. Okay, well, actually, that thing will probably get blown up then. Although, we do limit him on mana the other way. Should get him with both. Yeah, I think we still blow up the stud, though. And then at some point, Shambling Vent will become relevant, I think. Well, that's also going to be a pounding. I think we just equip this. Now, if he has an enchantment that buffers his guys, then he'll be able to grow the Elite Inquisitor beyond range. He'll become a 3/3. But I am drawing cards here, hopefully into removal. Well, I don't think there's any 0 mana removal. You could have removal for this thing, but that's probably okay. Yeah, we're just going to get rid of this thing. We'll nip it in the bud now. Well, it's a solid draw to get back into the game. If we start losing too much life, we're going to lose 4 next turn. But we're up many cards. Well, we'll see what happens. It could obviously all go sideways. You could just have like a sword of like, I don't know, feast and famine here or something. Obviously not. This is his play. I don't think he has that. Could just have all lands. I don't think the play here is to play anything on main one. I'm going to play the land out. I guess we do show him we have it, and we could want to get something else. If he has like a Path to Exile or something, it's okay. This thing will die. If it hits this time, then we'll end up removing the Elite Inquisitor, because this thing does not grow out of sword range if he gets one of the pump enchantments. I don't think going to 8's a bad deal here. So even if he has like the sword that has protection from everything we have, there's no green-white sword, then the Elspeth token that I'm going to make right now is going to protect me. We're playing a little careful, but like we can afford to. Like there's not many draws that he can have now that get him out of this mess. And I think we have the mid to late game locked down against an aggressive deck like this. Our board is going to be quite horrific for him. I think our main is actually pretty good in this matchup too. Generally, there are certainly draws they can have, but I don't think this is it. We'll save the soldier token. All right, he's flooded. He is horrifically flooded. I mean, he can attack here. I'm just gonna block with the Caryatid. No, he's not even gonna bother. Well, let's go for the gusto. Yep. Red, black, and whatever. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna get this thing online, and I'm gonna pump the soldier token. Now, if he draws like a sword of X in shadow or whatever, then I guess we're gonna get hit for 5. But he is on a 2-turn clock, I think, and this thing's dead. So actually, yeah, the game's over. Okay, there's a lion. We'll save it just in case he does randomly run a wrath. But even then, he's gonna be at almost no life against an opposing planeswalker. No, it's a Mirren Crusader. I mean, that's not relevant, though, right now. I mean, earlier in the game, it would have been a horrific beating. But at this point, Council's Judgment, Plankia. Probably a concession here. No. Well, I'm going to make a bunch of lethal threats right now, and I'm going to attack you with all of them. So you have to have a lot of answers here. Wing Shards? No, not castable. It's a 4-mana spell. I don't even know. If only there's an answer. Come up in the snow, can't cast it. Is there a fog effect? Like Holy Day could be it. Okay. Well, opponent had nothing going on, really. Well, they had some stuff going on, but just not fast enough. So against a deck like this, I think we do want, well, I know we want Dread of Night. We want Fort Bolt. Duress, not as much. Deathmark is fine. Dark Blast, this is the matchup it is for. This is for this matchup. I think we want this less than we want this. I think we want this probably more than something else over here. Maybe the Chandra. I don't know. We definitely want Zealous Persecution. This is a matchup we plan on facing like twice today. We'll take the Lingering Souls out because it's not as good when you have Dread of Night in your deck. Kind of obvious. Reclamation Sage is interesting to me. I don't know if it's right or not. It's probably more right than the sword. This sword right here is, though. Golgari Charm is interesting, too. What do I like least? I don't think we really need this sword. These swords are kind of just inefficient. Even Mind Sensor is kind of meh, too. It does fly, though, which is semi-relevant. Title of Scholar is also kind of a dirtly card. Most of their cards do the same thing. So maybe not. Yeah, take that out. Yeah, so many good cards, guys. Marchesa seems kind of iffy to me. Just because it's an aggressive matchup and he's bound to be attacking too. I'm kind of the control here, I think. I see myself as being the control in this matchup, so I kind of want to play it out that way. Maelstrom Pulse is also a clunker, but it just does the job against anything, with the exception of lands. I like Arc Trail in this matchup too. It's not its best, but it's not bad. This thing is kind of a clunker. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to be on the draw this game. All right, I've got one more card I need to cut. Maybe it's just Eternal Witness. Maybe we don't need to go full value here. Let's just try this. Plus, it's going to be a harder spell to cast. I mean, obviously, Courser is too, but Courser's a higher upside card. I do like Dark Confidant in this matchup because they don't have burn per se. I mean, they may have Sunlance or something like that, but I can't go to face. Their only form of like surprise damage is like, you know, an Elsbeth or like a sword or something like that, or maybe like a Bone Splitter. We brought in a lot of ways to heal ourselves, and we've dropped the curve a bit. The curve is much more. It's obviously it's a complete curve deck now. We're on a curve, as you can see. Um, our highest density of drops are 1 drops at this point. We placed 1/5. I don't think the Planeswalker is as good as the Tusk is in this matchup. I think the Tusk can just help you come back from a lot. Obviously, it's not as good against First Strike as the Nissa is, and it's probably not as fast at killing. Well, this hand's great. We just lead off with this is a keep. I think Fire Covenant, if we're able to get it off, is going to do significant damage. All right, 1-drop. Although we are notably short on, well, what do you have? Nothing. A lot of lands, evidently. Well, Greens and Zenith is not the best. So we probably will just play out the Bob, depending on what we draw. I mean, we need to draw into land here. Okay, Honor the Peer is fine. Well, that's green mana. I think we're just going to play Bob this turn and start drawing. Because we're not under pressure, so like, what's the point not drawing? If he attacks with his Mishra's Factory, I'll block all day. And if he removes it, that's fine. I have answers. I have many answers to the Honor of the Peer if I need to answer it. I have one-sided Wrath in the form. It was cool I was talking about this card. I'm going to get to use it, I think, here, unless he plays like a Thalia or something else really annoying. Okay, that displays that you're playing Geddon in your deck. I think here we just play out the old Q Mage, and we'll blow up his factory if he fires it up in response to our attack. This allows us to kind of get on the offense here. And if he doesn't and he decides to counterattack us, then that's fine too. Yeah, I'll blow up your land. I mean, that's free land drop. A lot of tempo there. If it's a plow or something like that, I think you should have done it earlier. So I've taken no damage off my Bob and getting a significant amount of damage. Just puts him further off Geddon, puts us up on mana against him, even though we're on the draw with a Bob. So I don't really see many ways of losing this one. I feel like, I mean, we could, but I feel pretty favored here. Tech Edge is fine. Like, if you want to sit back and blow up my lands, I'm A-okay with that. Not an issue. Okay, the Findhorn Elves. I think we're just going to save. Alright, so we get another land here. If he wants to blow up lands, I mean, I'm fine with that. Very comfortable with that state of affairs. So a green and black. You're coming out. And then I'm going to put the Findhorn Elves out too. And if he wants to snap off one of my lands, I think I'm okay with that. And I still have plenty of mana to spare, so if he decides to go for a value Geddon here, I'm going to be up a lot on the board and have 3 lands in hand with an active Bob. Seems good. What's in his hand? It's got to be like a Planeswalker or something like that. I don't even know. Well, next turn, I mean, if we wanted to, we could easily go... He could have like a Wrath. Humility. Interesting. Okay. Well, I suppose here we just start beating him with the land too, I think. We get the land hit in while we can. Yeah. I mean, if I ever hit a Planeswalker, like, the game's over, right? And I should be probably leery about hmm. No, I don't know if I can be because I need to hmm. I mean, this is 5 damage here. He's down to 9. Well, what have you got? Maybe I should have blown up the humility sooner. I mean, obviously, we still have answers to it. I think I do send in with the clowns, so to speak. Yeah, it's fine. All right, you have a 2/2. I think we just wait on this. I think we are going to do this, though, because I don't think it's getting any better. And we're going to find something, anything. Like, just build the board up. And then next turn, we can kind of blow them out. Which one do I at least want to draw? We'll just go classic here. So if I ever find a way to answer humility, he just dies, right? Yeah. Or if I get a planeswalker that's worth a darn. And if he casts out critters here, yeah, it just lands. Humility board seems really bad to me. I mean, it's a shocker, obviously. You're going to attack me. That's ballsy. I like it. I'm very happy you're attacking me. I hope you also cast something. Nope, I'll take. I'm not going to trade you here. You should have left it back, man. Okay. Play one more. This will have persist, but as a 1/1, that's not very good. So, take a bunch of damage. Could have like a path, but if you have that, that means you're not playing a critter next turn more than likely, or you have only one critter in hand. Down to 4. No, you got to present many blockers next turn. Okay. Land. What else you got? Well, I'm alpha striking. This is like the most anemic fight ever. I would have attacked with all creatures at Goldenlin's face. Would have never expected humility in a white weenie deck. So it's definitely an interesting board. You have removal. If you're just firing this up, you're dead. Right? Yeah. That's all you got. Okay. Might as well block something good like Grim Flare. Could block the Finks, but I'll gain life. Nah, I won't gain life off that. Never mind. Good game, man. Very bizarre. So I just got humiliated by White Weenie. Not where I would have expected to see that card whatsoever, but it was there. And we beat it with anemic 1/1s. So I guess the 1/1 beats through. Well, we also had the land. The land did do a critical 2 damage. All right, so let's go check out some other matches, guys. I assume some are still going on. Let's see how these two are getting along. Rob's probably on White Weenie, yeah. And ML is on his red-green deck again, red-green ramp. I am so shocked I got white. Or got, oh, okay. So he's got the Akessig Wolf Run. He's at 14 life, though. That's dubious. Obviously, he can blow up the Wolf Run. Probably do here. Yeah, makes sense. Copter blocks pretty much anything. You probably want to play some junk, though. Yeah, like, that's fine. If you have one more, you can probably even attack. Okay. I was going to say, I mean, if you can, looks like you're getting after his mana situation here. That's not a bad deal. I still can't believe I got humiliated by White Weenie. I wonder if you'll think I'm trying to say humiliated. I didn't really get humiliated. I beat him, but it was interesting to say the least. Do you block? If he's out of lands, he is in some trouble. No, he's not. All right, because his deck runs on mana. It is a mana-hungry deck. I wouldn't put it past Rob because he dumped a pretty good card there, the Sarah Avenger, to have removal for this next play. His hope has got to be that it's not a Planeswalker. That's at least not a card that you need to be that worried about. I mean, you can fly over it. There's no flash 1-drop that I can think of in white. That would be nice for him because he could activate the Windbrisk Heights if that were the case. Although, I guess he still can because Smuggler's Copter can activate off of a just cast creature card. Okay, Hero, a Ranger of Eos. This is going to get Mother of Runes and likely Figure of Destiny. Or I could see it possibly getting like Hangerback Walker or something like that. I mean, he may have that in his deck. I doubt it. Probably Figure and Gold Meadow Harrier. It's Tapper. Okay, that's probably a good one because it allows you to get around. I almost like just attacking with the Thopter too. I don't know. It's 5 damage down to 11. Maybe not quite yet. Because the Yavimaya Elder you want to let go through. You have like an Abrade or something. All right, he just sacks this thing to get more mana. So the Tapper is probably going to be pretty good here. If this is a Primeval Titan, the game might just be over because he'll get the Dark Depths combo, which I guess he could block for quite a while. You just can't really attack through it until it attacks. If you have Path to Exile, obviously that becomes significantly better. That's one of the best ways to deal with it. If you can't just straight up wasteland it. But he's got some big, crazy stuff in his deck. That's kind of what these green-red decks do, is just cast big, dumb shit, is what I call it. None of it's, it's all good stuff. It's just big and dumb. Doesn't really do anything like special, just like wins the game really fast if you can cast it. Not my style of play. I think you become very top deck driven when you play like that, which is a risk. But if you have it, you have it. Like obviously you had the Kessig Wolf Run, which is a beating. All right, well this thing's up to a 4/5 status now. You can double block it, or you could just take 2. Actually, you could use the Selfless Spirit to blow this thing out. I actually don't think that's a horrendous play. He obviously has things that he can use to activate the smug copter next turn. Okay, he fires this up and is going to go for the double block with Selfless Spirit backup, so I think this is good. Wait and sees what he's going to get. Now, if he has like burn or something like that, that stinks. But his deck doesn't seem to be the most interactive. I mean, or interacts with like at permanent speed, not at instant speed. So he gets rid of a plains, which is probably good for him. Now it really depends on how big whatever he's going to cast here is. If it's a 6-drop, probably not good. Just a Tusk. Tusk is annoying, but it's not unbeatable either. Especially with the Tapper. The Tapper is going to do some good yeoman's work there. Depending on what's underneath the Windbrisk Heights, it's almost worth the consideration of attacking in. I think we may see an attack. We'll see here. No, we're not gonna. We're gonna cycle a card. If there is a hard matchup for White Weenie, that's not a good card either. If there's a hard matchup for White Weenie, it tends to be these green X mid-range decks that play fair. Just play fair games of Magic. Probably less so my variant, my 4-color blood variant, because its mana base is disruptible. That's where it cheats, is on mana. But ML's deck obviously is not cheating on mana. I mean, it is. It's putting a lot more than it probably should, given the turn cycle into play. But it's not, you know, it's not as greedy, I guess you could say, as the deck that I'm running is. Makes sense. Seems like a fair trade to me. ML was obviously, I think he was short on lands last turn. All right, Huntmaster's a good one. That one right there is a beating. You need to continually cast spells into this thing. Hey guys, I'm going to take a quick break and use the restroom. It looks like this game is just heating up. We'll see what Rob has been able to filter with his Smuggler's Copter, but it does not look good for him right now. It looks like ML is handily up in this game right now. All right, guys, back. We have a morph, which is undoubtedly Den Protector. I guess it could also be the Megamorph, the Deathmiss Raptor. That does not seem highly likely to me, though. 3/3 Beast. Where did he come from? Hard telling. I don't see any exiled cards. I don't know where the Beast came from. Okay, path to exile. Opponent's at 15. Obviously, you need... No, you're not going to cast anything. Well, you must have more interaction, I would assume. I would assume 1 mana is destined to tie down something, some threat. Completely shocked me. I was just like, what is this card even doing in your deck? I don't understand what's happening right now. You might as well flip the morph. If it's not Death Mist, I mean, if it's Death Mist, I guess you don't. That's odd to me. So he wants to flip his next thing. I mean, is this comeuppance? Oh, Resto Angel. Okay, okay. You block the Megamorph. This is making more and more sense. White Weenie striving for all that value. Rob is scrapping him out. He's going to take 3 to face, depending on what this morph is. I mean, I guess the morph could be nothing. It's going to get back the Thragtusk. Oh, okay, well, that's a lot of mana. That's not nothing. That's probably not what I'm thinking it is either. That only takes 2 mana. What is this, Death Mist? Death Mist for 4? Hey, you tap it next turn. All right, yeah, it's Death Mist for 4. It was one of them. One of those 2 cards. Mom protects herself. And ML gets some decent damage in, but essentially gets his board wiped and kills a 1 mana 1/2 that drew Rob Zadar 2 cards. So Rob's scrapping it out. I'm not going to say he's going to win here because he's come a long ways. I mean, he's scrapped it out so far. I don't know. Like, all ML needs to do is just cast mono big dumb stuff. Council's Judgment, naming probably Death Mist. No, you know what? It's actually Obs and Baloth because you don't want to recurse that. Okay, interesting. I guess, Death Mist does have recursive capability if he does end up drawing a very specific recursion card. But Obstinate Baloth can just take the game on forever. Here you probably just equip the Angel. I guess you don't have to. All right, attacks with the Angel. You got to do the damage at some point, right? I mean, ML is just a draw step away. I'm sure he has stuff like Bonfire of the Damned, stuff like that, which would end the game on the spot. But Rob could make a comeback of it. All right, tap the big thing. I don't think you... Okay, I was going to say, if he attacks in, I don't... Yeah, I guess you have to, but... All right, Oran Reef, the Vastwood. White Weenie is such a cool deck. I mean, like... And I like how Rob plays White Weenie. It's a very scrappy and efficient deck, and it does have quite a bit of play to it, which is one of the really cool things about the deck I tend to enjoy. All right, get in for 5, down to 11. Draw a card at end step on his turn. Oh goodness. Well, it's game probably. Yeah. I mean, I guess he's got to take 2 here. No, he doesn't have to, because the mom can block the 4/4, and the Smuggler's Copter can kill the wolf. The wolf. Yeah. Seems good. All right, Treetop Village seems not good. Well, he's got to get 1 more hit in, and his opponent is dead. That's tapping mana, which is not good. The trample is not irrelevant, though. I guess it's not that relevant. He needs 2 more lands to activate it, and he's dead next turn with Mother of Rune's backup. Well, red land plus like a braid or something like that. There's a red land. Do you have like a wrath effect, a burn style wrath effect? Taparoo. The Wilf can get in. No, the Wilf doesn't want to get in. Very tight game, and well played by Rob. I like the way he played this. I think it was very well done. He's got protection now. I don't think there's any way that ML can beat this now. He would need 2 cards. Those do appear to have been very good games. Oh, I guess that's it, guys. So we're going to go on a quick pause, and we'll be back momentarily. All right, guys, we're back. I assume we're playing against Red Deck Wins here. I didn't really get to catch Math Guy's game, but that's what I assume. I'd love to play first. I'm going to keep this on a lark. I do need to draw lands. That is a must. But it does have good early interaction against aggressive creatures, and if I draw another forest land, then I have Kasali Pride Mage, and I have the Finks, which is not a bad deal. Turn 1 guy would not be so terrible. All right, Stromkirk Noble. Well, evidently never lucky. We'll pass it. Probably get Bayou with this thing. We'll just do it now. We eschew a little bit of efficiency or a little bit of decision making or options for ourselves. No, thank you. Well, we could have been greed sacks and just kept a bad hand. Wasteland was obviously not the ideal one here. Hope is he just plays a creature threat that we can kill. Okay, well, what threat do you have? Okay, Shrine. Well, never not lucky, right? Just get rid of that now. And then depending on what he does, we'll probably just go Finks next turn. Okay, Burning Tree into Thermo Alchemist. Okay. Well, I like the Sword of Fire and Ice. I would like to get a green land now. Okay. Well, you can do a little bit of damage to me. Okay, Stormblood, a Berserker. Hang back. We're still looking for a green land, and we can lock one of these 2 swords up. We can probably end the game pretty quickly. Did Skull crack me? No. You gonna firebolt my thing? Okay. Well, Blooming Marsh. There's a sword. Well, do you have like a blood moon or something like that? That would be horrific for us. Oh. Well, this is probably better. Because this will end the game very rapidly. Do you have price of progress? Lightning strike? Okay. At this point, I might just blow this Thermo Alchemist up. Okay, a Jackal Pup. It's probably not one you want to play out. All right, he concedes. Okay. I was going to say, the Jackal Pup seemed like a bridge too far to me. This, probably this, not this. Definitely not this. Even Mind Sensor is pretty iffy. Bitter Blossom seems bad. Reclamation Sage seems better. This sword seems bad. Dark Confidant seems kind of meh. And probably another 3-drop, I think. Maybe a 4. Maybe Chandra is just not good enough here. Although she does get under Moon. No, she's not fast enough. Who am I kidding? I don't think I want Dark Blast. I think I want that for the White Weenie matchup. Let's submit this. I think this is good enough. I think this is good enough. A lot of hatred. Thragtusk, Obstinate Baloth. I mean, if we can get to the mana and they don't have Price of Progress or Blood Moon. Okay. Well, this is certainly a keep. With Goyf. Okay, a Rakdos, a Cackler. Just gonna burn this thing out. Unless he runs like Mana Ramp in his deck, I don't think I'm gonna regret that. Okay, Keldon Marauders. This should give me some protection. I don't really want to have to get... I want to get Bayou with this, because that gives me Terminate mana. Okay. So now I'm hoping to hit land, so I'm not going to crack this. Well, that is not land. Okay. I think... I'm going to wait. Well, it looks like we're going to miss. That Molten Rain was pretty clutch for him. No thanks to this. Well, if we can draw out of this, land. Cool, land. Don't need to attack here. I won't. Not the favored land. Well, let's see if we can... Okay. So we have the lethal next turn? We do. Okay, that's game, I think. It would take something very special. Okay, well, good game, buddy. Red deck wins, I don't think. Should have a very easy time. We got mana screwed pretty badly there, but still managed to kind of pull it out, you know. So 1-2-0. All right, well, so far, good showing. Let's check out how these two are doing. I don't know what Garland brought this week. No one's playing blue this week. Thus our board changes. Obviously, okay, he's playing the same deck he was last week. Not a deck I mind facing. It's a more controlling build, but it has stuff like this. Is very woefully inefficient in it, like Diabolic Tutor. Although, guys, I would tell you this. We need to have, like, Demonic Tutor in this format. It is a perfectly fair card. If you're going to go down 2 mana to find any card in your library, I want you to do it. I want you to invest your mana into that. I mean, my deck that I'm playing right now does not do that. And part of why it wins is because it does not do that. Not that doing that is weak, but it's also not the it's not the strongest, right? Like you're spending 4 mana to impact nothing this turn. Whereas kind of the deck we're playing, the reason it's able to like wallop on red deck wins is because every turn, anything it can cast generally is relevant. If it can't cast spells, then it sucks. And that can happen. As you just saw, we kind of had a weird game. I mean, we're going to cast a Thragtusk the next turn. Actually, we're going to win the next turn, but we could have cast a Thragtusk and just got up to 10 life and been like, all right, game is beyond reach for you at this point. That's the same with like Molten Rain too. Like Molten Rain could have been pretty good there, but he didn't have really anything good to back it up. And like when you just top deck lands, you know, on red deck wins, well, you lose. There's consideration to utilizing the tech edge here. Don't know if I would. Be another 1-drop maybe. Okay. That's actually good. Now you can still use the tech edge. Sorry for continuing to watch Rob Zidar's matches. I tend to like the way he plays this deck, and I think it's a very, very good deck. He blew up the sack land. No, he blew up the Bayou, which makes sense. Blow up the green land. Take him up green mana, just in case whatever he got requires that for fixing. Let's see what these two are on. I assume green deck wins versus some sort of 3-color deck or 2-color deck by Michelle. I think she should probably have Blood Moon in her build, though. All right, she's playing the Enchantress deck. which is a deck that I don't really mind playing against. Sock Nellis is playing a 4-color blood deck, it appears. But with Worship in play, it's going to be a tall order. Well, not really for 4-color blood. I guess 4-color blood can do a lot of stuff. If he can blow it up, he could just win this turn, right? Not per se. All right, Michelle won. I have no problem facing down Enchantress, though. I don't know how great the deck we have is going to be against it, but I mean, we have discard. You know, we've got actually no, we have some decent cards against it. We have the Dramoka's Command. We have the Golgari Charm. I actually thought about boarding in Disenchant because I think it's a very good card. He actually against red deck wins as well as like just random Enchantress deck, I guess. It's also good against Humility, which we saw so far. And realistically, if we play, if the opponent that was playing in the control deck, they probably would have won. They weren't really able to capitalize on it. It's not really a card that you put in your white weenie sideboard, though. I think Wrath of God is more feasible to put in a white weenie sideboard than Humility is, by far. You have to build it very specifically to do that. Let's actually see what Coconut's on. Coconut is actually a first-time player for the format, and I'm curious. Generally, the entry point is white deck wins or red deck wins. All right, he's playing some sort of Grixis spells-based deck, I assume. It appears to be more of a budget list based on land selection. And Jory, the Rune Diver, not the strongest of cards. I think if you're going to go budget, the best way to generally go is probably white deck wins or red deck wins. You can do green too. This is not per se bad for... I don't know if this is actually a good play on his part. Because I think on a deck that is running Jory Rune Diver, Jorian Rune Diver, they probably run Wrath effects, which means you're going to ramp them into it. They have double black, they have triple black, so... And they have a bunch of red. Red's obviously not as great here. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. All right, so it's a Braids a Kebal. I'm going to sacrifice that nonsense. Yeah, so this doesn't look per se great for Rob. And a Bitter Blossom. So he's got the Mondo combo going on here. I could see the land. Now this. He's looking to find probably a Path to Exile or Swords of Plowshares. If he has it, he just wins. This looks like oh, okay. On Kitchen Things. Nice. You could attack with both. And frankly, you might as well. I think well, at least the Knight of the White Orchid, I think, is right there. He'll be able to flip the Kythian and then force the Braids to attack. But he can give it +1/+1 with the Okina. Temple to whoever this is a temple to. And his life total is not extremely low. Kitchen Finks is always in a weird place for me. That's not good. That's going to blow up the Flicker Wisp. It should. That's wrong. This could go horribly sideways for him, though, if he flips the Kythian and forces an attack. I almost think you sack a land here and then use the Igano Castle. No? You don't want to attack and flip your Kythian? I guess he knows his hand. He has 4 cards. Yeah, it's not. He's just going to sack the Murderous Redcap and then kill the Flicker Wisp. So you attack with the Wisp, hit him for 3, put him down to 15. This is a weird stacks list. Like, stacks... So I understand what he's doing. He's trying to play stacks. I don't care for it as much. Warmth is very interesting to me. Warmth is an interesting board option against Grixis. Anarchy, well... So we saw he had Ultimate Price. He obviously top-decked the Anarchy, which is just a big blow-on card. I think it is a must in like red deck wins type decks, but I don't think Grixis per se needs Anarchy. I think Anarchy's a little over the top for Grixis. But it is necessary for red deck wins because there's just some things you just can't deal with. Like Warmth, like good luck dealing with that. Once on the board, unless you're like running some random like Nevin Jarl's Disc or something main, like You know, which is not good, by the way. If you're running Nevin Yarrow's disc main in red deck wins, like you're wrong. Like not where you want to be at all. Maybe cool, but it would definitely be very techy, but it'd be wrong. There's no way that could be right. Maybe as a board option, I don't know. But nowadays, I mean, with Planeswalkers, it doesn't really do much. Plus a lot of mana. 4 mana is a lot for red-based decks, or red deck wins-based decks. Alright, Chainer's Edict. Just going to attrit him out. Grind value, just do Grixis. Still at 18 life, so it's not looking bad for him. Alright, Diabolic Edict. That's gotta be game. I mean, like, you've tutored like a billion times. Smallpox? Well, that's no good for you. You need to get rid of the cap. Alright, Garland just wins. He doesn't want to play the Pox anymore. I think he can overrun this deck, though, as long as he doesn't get, like, Toxic Deluge or something like that. So we'll catch up with them in a minute here. So we have a Knight of the Meadow Grain. Assume probably casting more removal. If he has another land, he just kills it right here. At some point, he's going to want to start Dust Bowling him. Although, I think even now is probably right. You probably just get the Bloodfell Caves. Force him to take damage off the Grand Coliseum. I guess it depends on what he draws. Probably going to get countered, dude. Jamming a sword into a billion open Grixis mana. You probably want to wait on that. Force him to wait. If he draws a land, there's a chance he just Chainer's Edicts. Then you can resolve this thing. Draining Well, woo! That's pretty good. So you got a 4/4 now. Unless you have like Path to Exile or something like that, which means your Knight of the Meadow Grain is. So why would you even cast the sword main one anyways? Unless you have the other land. If you have the other land, maybe you're trying to like feign you don't have the other land so you don't counter it, and then like I don't know. Like the chances that you have removal are probably just as high that you have a counter. Draining Welk is a sweet card. Very, very cool card. Not a card I commonly see. This Grixis deck would probably throw me for a loop because there's a lot of cards in it that I don't commonly see. And I wouldn't expect, like, Anarchy, I guess I would expect it against a white deck if I figured you had it in your board. But I'd probably figure you run like stuff like Toxic Deluge and Damnation as opposed to like Anarchy. Possibly Fire Covenant, but that's a little more risky in Grixis Color Packs. You're prone to taking a lot of damage. That's definitely sweet. That is sweet, but I don't know if it's going to be good enough. I mean, it's like Aether Vial, but like you're on 2 cards. It's like Aether Vial for spells. I don't think good enough. I don't think Aether Vial is great in this format either, though. I think it's certainly a sweet card. And I played it to no end in Death and Taxes in Legacy because it's the pivotal card of that entire archetype. Matter of fact, like you almost want to mull into it. It's that good in the archetype, but I don't think it's as good in 100 card formats. If we draw at number 14 or something like that, it's just pretty bad. Ooh, give him the quick 1/4. I see. Perm Deed is pretty stellar. Although he doesn't have to play into it here. He can just smack him for a little bit of damage here. Keep a Loyal Cathar. You play your land drop if you have it. Well, you look first, but the Orb was wicked, although it's not good against bounce lands. Now, if he has like Wasteland, he can just blow him the hell out. Soltari Chant makes sense to get rid of, I guess. No land. Interesting. Okie doke. Well, the Braves Cabal is gone. How did it get gone? Oh, it sacked itself because he played a Winter Orb and he couldn't untap. This gets all artifacts and creatures, right? So he'll do this mid-combat more than likely. Should do it before attacks, actually. Yep. If he lets him attack, that's a play error. That's a play error. That's got to be an error. You should not let him loot. looting is pretty good. I mean, you can just find an answer to your enchantment too, so you're kind of running the gamut here. I mean, especially with him on 7 cards and looting. Sword of Fire and Ice makes sense to get rid of. That's way too slow. Alright, there's the land. Finks. Cool. That'll stay alive. I mean, you wait. He's going to have 4 power after he blows this Pernicious Deed, which is probably not where you want to be. You probably just deed here. I mean, I think you have to. You go for 4? Okay. You probably just need to go for 3 and leave the black man up as opposed to taking the 1 damage. Especially at 10. Going to 9's dubious. Obviously, tapping the Cabal Pit's getting riskier too, but I presume he probably has a way of dealing with these 2 nuisances. Alright, Loyal Cathar will come in on Rob's end step, or I'm sorry, Garland's end step, which is actually, he timed that up poorly. He should have probably reread that card, because now he can't Wrath on his turn and is sure that he'll destroy all the threats. He can go point removal, but then he's down 2 cards, down to 5 cards, which will match Rob's 5 cards. So Rob will have acquired some significant card advantage if he goes point removal. I think Rob would actually be happy with that. No, what Rob's probably looking for here is like a Geddon effect or a Wasteland would be great. Like Wasteland on Golgari Rotfarm would be good, and actually Reclamation Sage or a Flash Threat would be pretty good too. Even Mind Sensor would not be horrendous. I think this deck tutors a bunch. It also plays at instant speed, so it plays around Wrath effects and allows him to kind of get in some sneaky damage, or forces his opponent Garland to have 1-for-1 answers for 1-for-1 threats. Which he's playing the Rock, and he wants to have answers that answer many things for 1 card. There's Grim Tutor, so he takes 1 damage off that, and we'll go down to 6. He's going to take 4 down to 2. So Bone Splitter here kills him. He may just be going for a land at this point. I was saying Wasteland would be phenomenal here. That'd be a great draw. Could also be getting, if he has a land in hand, if he has a black land in hand, he could be getting Dread of Night, which would kill both these threats and allow him to kind of get around the faux pas he made with the Pernicious Deed. Because I think he did want to use that end of main 2, as opposed to end step, which again allowed Rob to have a sneaky threat that'll come in on Garland's end step. So Dread would do it here. I mean, there's probably a lot of draws. Like, I mean, there's like any Crusade effect wins the game. Post with no answer to a creature threat. An equipment would not quite do it unless he like runs Ancient Tomb or something like that, or like City of Traders, which I doubt. All right, it may have just been that land right there. May have just been that land. To a point now where the Cabal Pit is becoming quite dangerous. There it is. Yeah, okay, so Bone Splitter is one of the ones we noted. He's going to have 1-for-1 removal. I think you probably do it on the Hollow Cathar. Because, yeah, exactly. Because if he does have a land and next turn is able to resolve a Restoration Angel, Finks is better to have in play. I would rather have Finks. The life is probably better. Okay. I mean, he has that, but now his graveyard is gone, which means Cabal Pit is further from being active. Take 2, probably equip Sword. I don't think I play further into that. Well, maybe you play 1 more threat. No, he just leaves it be. No need to equip either. He may have removal. Force him to play around it. Hey. This could just be, this thing. I don't know. I guess if he has an edict, this is good. Yeah, that's an edict effect. All right. Yeah. Do you have more answers? Yeah, it looks like you do. Okay, well, if he goes for this, he's tapped out. This is not active. He didn't use his Liliana last turn, which is dubious to me, which means his hand's either phenomenal or he forgot. If he forgot, that's not good. But I think you always want to use Liliana because there's got to be a card that's worse than like any unknown creature that can deal lethal damage out of nowhere. If he goes for the blighted, then all right, each player discards a card. He'll discard what? And he'll discard what? Obstinate Bailoff. Go. Yeah, that'd be funny. Swords to Plowshares. I think I would just pop. Nah, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't pop it off. You're just going to force him to have the answer. You can still sack this thing, though. Draw a card. Or he could do that, but then he's dead unless he has 1 mana removal. This is tricky. This is very tricky. Yeah, you have to tap out for this. This is 6 mana. Very robust. Well, stinks to hear she went 4-4, but hey, at least she got out and got to play in her national event, standard format. We were playtesting a little bit last night. Not that I'm much of a playtest partner for standard because I never play it unless someone like specifically asks me to play it. All right, getting what, Murderous Cut? No, probably no. It'd have to be a Murderous Cut at this point. Maelstrom Pulse is not an option. Yep, and you can leave up 1 piece of mana. And Murderous Cut, what? Pourquoi? All right, Garland got him. That is pretty exceedingly annoying. To get had that way, but hey, you know he had the optimal that he needed to get him, and he found the out. We may be playing him next. We'll see. Oh yeah, sorry, buddy. Yeah, didn't notice that. I think I was in the just for fun room when that was going on. Let's see how these two are doing. Well, Michelle Wong is drawing many cards. Although I surmise it's not a bad thing per se. If you ever find an answer to the worship, then the game could just be over. Or a Gothian Enchantress. So let's think of a board plan. I think, well, no, she already lost one, right? Or is she 2-0 right now? Or 2-1? No, she lost one. That deck's pretty sweet, but I don't think it's that good. She may upset Signalis. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, though. He's drawing an awful lot of cards. And depending on how his deck's built, it looks like it's actually fairly similar to our deck list, actually. All right, so he's not going to get Fire Covenant. He'll probably get Duress, be my guess. Yep. Which means you can get the most relevant enchantment. If he's lucky, he'll be able to get rid of the angel making thing. And draw. All right, Elsbeth Knight Errant. That means that she can go to 0 life here, more than likely, or 1 life rather. And then if he has an answer to worship, he just wins. We shall see. Elspeth is not a bad one. I mean, you almost want your Reclamation Sage to die, so like he has to give it back to you, right? Like with the Tassiger. Give a way to like exile cards. Like Scavenging Ooze would be probably good that way because you could just like exile the junk you don't want her to give you back if you could get that card. Oh, well, yep. And you just Alpha Strike. They have to block. You should probably just Alpha Strike here while she's tapped out. Put her down to extremely close to lethal. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You jump this thing, everything else can be blocked. The backswing is lethal? Not quite. Yeah, so I think maybe you just jump this thing and then, yeah. Seems pretty good. Then you got a man land for follow-up turn. Yeah, seems pretty good. And duress, get like a moat or like a sigil of the empty throne or whatever that thing's called. I think he's probably got her here. All right, well, you're going to sack a land and possibly, well, if you're going to path to exile the Tassiger, I guess you do it then. I mean, that's my guess as to what he's got. Well, you know what else it could be? It could be Cirrus Sanctum. Could just be getting the Cirrus Sanctum, but you don't do that here because now she can attack, or he can attack for more, unless you really have to. But like, what would you have? Like going for Cirrus Sanctum, casting Path to Exile on Tassiger. Maze of Ith. Okay. All right. I mean, not the coolest land ever to get. And actually, you could have done this during your blocking phase. So you could have already blocked and then switched the land out and stopped the Tiger. I like that play better. I like the block on one of these better. Kill it and then put the Tiger back home after you've already blocked with your Knight of the Reliquary. She's definitely not out of this. I mean, she's at 4 life, which is very dubious. She doesn't need to be. She could be at 6 right now. And he could be down a creature card. Would be a better place to be, I think. He's going to have Raging Ravine next turn, so you need Cirrus Sanctum to make some magic happen here, I think. And a lot of enchantment cards. A lot of them, really. Interest out Almiri's Call. Almiri's Call could get what? I don't even know. Don't even know, guys, to be frank with you. Well, you got to go for broke here. This is it. Could just replenish. Do you have a sack land? You probably do. If you have a sack land, you do this now. Yeah, you just... I guess you don't have to. I guess you let him take the damage here. Yeah, Fyndhorn Elves. Not a phenomenal draw, but any card is a card, right? It's one further in the deck. Yeah, it looks like he's playing the same list we're on right now, or very close to it. We've changed our board up a decent bit in expectation there'll be less blue decks. But my guess would be is he's got our 100, our base 100. And frankly, we have ones that are close to German Highlander, close to the list Dots played. Not quite that list. I mean, we're probably off by about 8 to 10 cards, but they're not that divergent. The cool thing about like 4-color blood though is it has a lot of game against a lot of different tactics or techniques. So I think what we are going to see here is what? I mean, like the best thing. Well, wait. She could sack after blocks the knight to gain life. What's that desert card, the Oasis card called? That could do it. All right, he's got Liliana. We definitely have Liliana. It's not the same 100 then. Maybe he's running her over a different Liliana that costs more money. Maybe it was a budgetary choice. I think this Liliana is far worse, especially because you don't run that many swamps in the deck. I mean, you run a decent bit, but you only have 3 right now of all your lands. Which means that her removal option is kind of meh. And she doesn't really protect herself either. She just gets more lands for you. Which is card advantage, but I think we're going to see him fire up the Raging Ravine. The Ravine of Rage. She's got a trick. She may make all of these 1/1s, which would be good. Your Go the Enchantress still cannot block. The Raging Ravine will have a counter on it. And does not plus the Elspeth. I think I like still plussing the Elspeth on the Bub. Well, no Moat. Moat would have been pretty good there. Off of the Academy Erector. Not really sure what to make of this. Could just be a bolt to face. Do you play a round bolt here? Or do you leave your card engine? I mean, you have the Enchantress's Presence, so maybe you just block the Lotus Cobra. I don't know on this. I mean, you could also have that weird Oasis card that gains you life per... Alright, that's gone. Bolt is in the deck. Well, at least in the deck I play. Man, what is going on here? Alright, Flame Tongue Kavu versus a bunch of nonsenses. Okay, getting what? Now, if this is... Yeah, okay, so she should do this in response. If she has the sack land that gains her life, she should probably... Or just cast a Wolf Run. Nothing fancy. But she can... Alright, so she can get... on the next turn, she can get Sira Sanctum. She also get Moat here. But I think she wants to kill him. Is Sira Sanctum enough? He's got 4 toughness back. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 enchantments that are going to be on the board. So you would need to do it unless you have it in hand. If you have it in hand, that's very good. Because the knight can definitely get through for a lot. For like just a boatload of damage. If you have the Sira Sanctum. I think it's actually almost Xaxes. So it's 1, 2, 3 just to activate this thing. 4 to act. Well, I'm sorry. No, it's actually only this thing plus this. So it's like 1, 2. That's 2, 14. Not quite enough off that, but if she had Sira Sanctum, she could kill on the next turn. Barring a lightning bolt being cast right here. Alright, Stratus Dancer, hard cast. Not the best. Oh, he's 3 life though. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Here, if the opponent's smart, I'll just re-equip the Bone Splitter to the Spirit and force a less favorable block. It feels like the Mind Sensor shouldn't have that Bone Splitter anyways. Maybe the Spirit died last turn. Alright, Moat's interesting to me. Well, I guess Elsbeth doesn't really do anything. Okay, yep, can't attack. but does have a card engine with Bob, has a card engine with Lily. Lily is an engine, and they can randomly make a bunch of mana. I almost think I like the line where maybe it's not viable though. Maybe it's not viable yet. She obviously needs a flyer at this point. Um, she has to run Seer's Sanctum in there. Seer's Sanctum made just a shit ton of mana. Just a bunch of it, which would be sweet. Like, it'd be sweet to see her like win with using Seer's Sanctum on Kessig Wolf Run. Any burn kills her here, so I guess she has to just go for it. Unless she has like one of the sack lands in her deck and can, gain some life. Okay, Heliod's a pilgrim. Does she have like a flight or something like that? Flight of fancy? I don't even know. An aura. What aura do you get here? Rancor? Face Fetters. Okay, well, Face Fetters is a good card, but can you even cast it here? I guess you can. You probably Face Fetters the Liliana. Would make the most sense to me. You get Seer's Sanctum here, most assuredly. Caracas. Okay. I don't think I like that. I think I'd rather get the Liliana, because the Liliana is actually drawing cards. The Elspeth is just making nonsense tokens, and you have the Mazavith. I guess Wasteland or Tech Edge gets you. There are certainly draws. I mean, if he runs Crop Rotation, which he may, he could just die to his own Bob, too. Fleecemane Lion is next to worthless. It's a ground pounder. Doesn't mean he didn't draw, like, well, I guess Burn's out of the question now. Could have, like, the Vampire Aristocrat, which just flies over to bang in for lethal, because he's... Oh, wait, he doesn't have a human. No, he does have one human. So he could make it a 5-power attacker and just win. No, he couldn't. Mazavith. Well, wait, yeah, he could just plus with the Elspeth on, like, the Lotus Cobra and play Bloodbraid Elf. I mean, that could get something very relevant. We'll see. All right, a Path to Exile. That's going to hit the Knight. Yep. Which I think I'm fine with if I'm her. She'll have lands in there. She might get them. I mean, if he blanks long enough, he could kill himself with his Bob. All right, we know Fleecemane Lion and what? We don't know the other card, I don't think. We might, and maybe a land off of Lily. We knew this card. All right, another Swamp. Swamp go. And looks like Goldlin got this one. Oh, Control Magic. Yeah, cool. Well, active Sylvan Library. Up on time, too. Okay. Well, you're within Burst Lightning range now. It's got to be a cause of some concern. But infinite mana. I think I wait to play lands until after I've cast some enchantments. I guess she doesn't play Seer's Sanctum. Maybe it's a price thing. I don't know. That's more life. And more cards. Yeah, but wait, why would you play the land before you play this thing? That makes no sense to me. All right, Sigarda, which is a beating of a flyer, and she has Caracas backup for it. Seems good. Seems very, very good. Yeah, you can't cast Sigarda off the top of your deck. Okay, maybe she realized that she couldn't do that. Maybe she got excited when she saw it. I mean, that's an exciting card. It does win her the game if it sticks. If it's an Oblivion Ring, you just probably... I mean, for Raya. Okay. That's actually not bad for her. That means she stays alive. She takes a hit. Enlightened Tutor. Okay. And I guess you just get Throne of the Empty Sigil, although the Sigarda seemed just fine to me. There's not many answers to that. Yeah, the Sigil of, I'm sorry, the Sigil of the Empty Throne. That is her top card now. You could like a Praetor's a Grasper or something like that. All right. The Fleecemane Lion is monstrous as can be. It is very monstrous. It still does not fly over the moat. Avacyn's Pilgrim. Not a good draw. Not a good draw at all. There's credence to removing something. I guess you just continue to draw to try to get everything out of your deck that you can. You really only have one more turn, but the Faria kind of ensures if you can't do damage this turn to kill the Bob off, then any attack you make is going to be redirected directly on top of the Bob, which is not good. It is not good for her. Awakening Zone is a card. There's so many nonsense cards in this deck, though. Like it does not feel good to lose to the Enchantments deck. It is not a deck you generally want to lose to. Play so many clunkers, you know. Really, I think its bane is going to be Planeswalkers. Planeswalkers, I think, will be tough for it. Probably just arrest something. I mean, I don't. We'll see. Depends on what she draws. Do you have like an enchantment destruction spell? You don't do it now. I mean, if it's Dramoka's Command, yeah, I mean that's not that relevant. You probably just get rid of the Sylvan Library. Yeah, you get rid of the Sylvan Library. You know, that's fine. And draw a boat. Probably arrest something. I don't know. My guess is what she's casting. The Faria got just kind of lock it up for her, though. Yeah, arrest. Can't do anything. And get a 4/4. And that 4/4 is lethal next turn? Yeah. She has to remove the 4/4. Which you can do with Liliana. Liliana can remove the 4/4. That's 1, 2, 3. It's enough. If you have one more, it's probably necessary here. You almost want to cast it if you can. But I suppose that it's very viable. All right, Noble Hierarch does nothing. It's very viable that that's the wrong move. You probably just want to use that to kill the Angel and buy yourself time. If you have the removal, I guess you have the removal. She'll certainly go for it. I mean, you're going to go for lethal here. You should. It is the right thing. All right, so you can just kill him, Michelle. Yuck. Just kill the old boy. Oh, well, I guess. No, that doesn't happen. What? Why are you stretching this out, man? Just kill him. I mean, he may have removal, he may not. But that's kind of slow rolling. I think, you have the Kessig Wolf run, you just go for it here. Sigarda, not necessary. You're going to get at least one more Angel off Miri's Guile, which means you can just jam it again the next turn. So, yeah, you can't even activate this turn. And now I think the game is out of his reach, actually. I think he's losing. And can't quite F6. Bob could kill him. All right, Bob gets him. Even Mind Sensor. Game. Huh. Well, interesting. Interesting set of games. All right, guys, quick break, and then we'll be here for the finals. All right, guys, Loman02 here. This hand is dicey. I'm going to mull it. This hand's not great either, but it does have a Bob, so I'm going to try to keep this one. It also has Goyf, which is big. This is a keeper, though. Bottom. And we could just miss on lands and lose the game. Lingering Spirits, or Lingering Souls, rather, was not a card for keeping there. Okay. Well, I don't like this start. Maybe the first hand was right. Okay, well, that's not a bad draw. We're hoping to evade here is ideally a turn 2 Bitter Blossom. Okay. Not going to fetch here. Obviously, will here. And go into drawing. And any creature card he plays I can remove. Obviously, enchantment threats are harder. He could just kill Bob too. That's fine. Any untapped land that we draw. Okay. I mean, that's to kind of be expected here. Well, Wasteland would be much welcome here. Okie doke. Your go at it. I think Planeswalkers will be tougher for his deck. Not impossible, though. But it'll force him to play on some creature threats, and I have the Swords to Plowshares to kind of answer that. All right, I don't really want to draw lands here. Well, if he has mass removal, he has mass removal. I'm going to play into it. That's what he's got. That's what he's got. But eventually Chandra is going to be a force to be reckoned with, I think. Then again, maybe not. Okay, a skin render, probably on Thinks. Yep, just kills it. Gonna hang back. Ultimate on Chandra seems pretty good. I would obviously prefer to save the Swords to Plowshares for later. Okay. Okay. Well, you can blow up all my stuff. And this being the case, I think I do actually. Okay. Opponent appears to be missing on lands. He's at 7. He's at a full grip to our 0 cards. Chandra has done a lot of work. Well, if we draw any spell, we should be in good shape. Maelstrom Pulse would be the worst thing ever to see. Okay, well, Death Reap a Ritual. We draw some cards, but it's going to be a tall order, I think. We could just have it, but like any spell wins the game for the most part. Chandra Emblem is definitely no joke. Planeswalker is just no joke. Use Up Pernicious Deed is just kind of a card of older times that doesn't deal with them, and when you have one or more, they can just get there. Okay, so his deck seems kind of slow and dirtily. I think I like Duress. He's probably forcing people to discard. I think this is probably good. I like Shriekmaw a little less. I like Reclamation Sage in this matchup. I kind of like Golgari Charm. Kind of like Winter Orb. And Deathmark seems interesting, but I don't know if it's good enough. Firebolt may also be good enough as well. I don't know yet. What don't I like in this matchup? Yeah, I like the Baloth just because I think he's probably going to have like Liliana the Veil and whatnot in his deck. The Arc Trail seems kind of blah. Seems not that good. What else? Go for the Throat seems fine. He's just Doran. He's just like a big dumb idiot that beats. Yeah, he can't be that bad. I think I want the Planeswalkers. It's going to be a very attritional match. I think this mana is kind of not where we want to be. We're going to be on the draw this game, so I don't think we need it as much. We should see more lands. 2 more things. Kolaghan's Command seems fine. Oh, this sword's not good. Marchesa seems great, actually. I think. This is tough. Actually, this should be over here. This Liliana can't be terrible either. Yeah, maybe 1 Liliana come out. Let's try this out. Double black is just a little tougher. I like the E-Wit a little better. I mean, Liliana can grind cards too, though. So I don't know. That could be wrong. That was the last card I didn't like that I took out. All right, this is a fine hand. It needs red mana to go right, but any fetch should put us in good stead. It is a little slow. Well, Fink's turn to Chandra, no, not Chandra. It had to be the Huntmaster. If this thing doesn't die, which this thing may die, that's okay. If he's just gonna like Dark Blast it here, that's okay with me. Fatal Push it? No, just cycling off a land. Okay, we've got creature recursion going on. Okay, death mark that. That's very ambitious. Well, we'll see. I'm just gonna play this thing out because it's hard as hell to remove. And if he's trying to like, do some Braids Cabal shenanigans, I can just sack it to Braids and then blow Braids up. All right, got her again. Whatever I'm drawing here, it's not relevant. It's going in the trash pile. Yeah, yeah. This game has looked. I would love to cast. Well, I'd love to cast that later. I would love to have that card in my hand. Yeah, Chandra is a beast. Chandra is Jace the Mind Sculptor in women's clothes, in red women's clothes, just like Marchesa. Um, okay, you got her. I'll get her back. Yep. And we're not far from lethal right now. I like the Chandra. I like the Planeswalker threats because they're just so hard to deal with. I mean, you have to have specific cards like Heroes Downfall. It's a 1-for-1 exchange card. You can blow up my board, but like the Planeswalker's what's relevant. Yeah, I feel like in these attritional matches, I'm going to be very strongly benefit. I mean, this deck does. Just grinds the shit out of people. I'm not going to play the birds now. It's just dumb because, I mean, he's bound to have a Wrath of some sort. If he wants to Wrath this board, he'll get a card and a half out of it, and then I'll have, Chandra, which is probably worth many cards in my opinion. Okay, Diabolic Tutor. All right, another answer to Chandra. That's fine. Do we just attack all out here? We just go all in on him, like just bang him with the the Stirring Wildwood, and do 8 damage down to 3. That seems pretty good. That seems like then he has to Wrath the board. Then I hit him for 2, and then I just cast Chandra and kill him. Yeah, I may just bang into him. Okay, well, you got something. You gonna get a duress? You gonna duress it? Or you gonna blow my land up? Well, joke's on you. Like, I can still fix. You got, okay. Or I can just kill him right now, right? Yeah, I can. Huh. Well, Lightning Bolt was a nice draw. And good game, man. Cool. Well, I'll say it again, guys. 4-color blood. Good game, brother. 4-color blood is a busted deck. This deck is redonkulous. You know, and the more vindictive side of me is playing this to show people how broke this deck is. No individual card in the deck is broken. The reason it's so good is because of design trend at Wizards. There are a lot of new cards in this deck. There are a few clunkers. I don't like this guy or this gal. But there's a lot of newer cards. There's a lot of old cards, too, that just work well with the new cards. And there's just a ton of planeswalkers that are out there now that are very powerful and very aggressive, like very assertive. Like Chandra is very assertive. It's a card advantage engine. Elspeth always been assertive. Gideon, ridiculous. Nissa, ridiculous. Shriekmaw always been good. The Garrick's always been good. Ajani always been good. You know, the new Liliana and well, they're all new to me, but the newest Liliana and, you know, the semi-new, now Innistrad, old Liliana, might be like 2010 time frame, I forget. It's been a while. All the best removal, and, you know, then you look at the board. The board has some wicked cards, and it has some oldies that, like Winter Orb that we put in today. Would have been nice in the matchup we're just in because he was a very mana intense. He's casting Diabolic Tutors, you know, which is a very strong card. You can find any card in your deck, but it's too slow. Like, it's just too slow. And when you're like looking for something like that, you know, I think Demonic Tutor is fair in this format. Because I think decks like the one I'm playing right now need to have combo decks that can check them. That can keep them in check because they need to be fast. Like, and sometimes they'll just die ignominious defeats to decks like this because this deck just does what it does almost every time. It's just very, very consistent. It has a lot of options. It's very hard to hate out. It's harder than you'd think to hate out. I mean, matter of fact, I'll show you the end of a game, or yeah, the end of a 3 or 4 game set. I played with Michelle Wong because I kind of assessed this matchup at about 45-55 versus Blue Moon, and I think it's actually in this deck's favor. So our opening hand has Choke in it, as well as a Mana Accelerate, but we're on the draw. She plays Island. We play Blooming Marsh, cast our Elvish Mystic, and prepare to try to choke her. We figured maybe she's going to Force Spike, but she just cycles the Barrens and finds a Mountain, which already lets me know something's up. Like, she probably didn't have the Mountain because she plays less of them in her deck. So I don't want to jam into counter magic. I end up jamming the Courser, figuring, yeah, it's going to get countered. But I'd rather jam this now because if it does get resolved, then the Marsh Flats is more value the next turn, and I'm not going to be able to pull land this turn anyways. Cast Blood Moon, which is like, okay, cool. But I already have the Fixer. I choke her, you know, throw my land down, choke her out, and then end up casting out Reclamation Sage, blowing up the Moon, which is a board card, obviously, at this point, and leaving her on 2 mana. And then I cast on a Johnny and say, hey, if you want to bolt anything, your red mana is not going to untap, and that's game. Like, it's just, the deck can hate just about as hard as, like, a deck that's designed to hate it out. So I don't think the answer to you know, making this deck, I don't think the answer is making this deck weaker. I think this deck is great. Like, I think it's a very fun deck to play. It's very interactive, actually. I mean, although it wins fast, it's very interactive. It does deal with opponents' permanents. It can mess with their hand. The only thing it really doesn't do is counter spells. It has no permission capability. Other than that, I mean, the deck, you know, has fast clocks and can deal with the board. So it's great. Like, it's just, it has the best of everything from all the colors, not blue. We're going to jump back into the matches now, but I'll get off my high horse with it, but we need to let some good blue cards come back in the format. Needs to happen, guys. Need to let it happen. All right, so let's check this game out. All right, well, green stuff versus moat. Green stuff versus moat's probably going to lose. Oh, Merit Lage. Well, Merit Lage is like mono big. She's a 21 life, though, which means she has a turn. Oh, she has Korhaven. Well, okay. Well, he has Wasteland. I'm going to bolt her face. No, bolt the core Spirit Walker. Okay, bolt one of the card engines. Although I presume she can transmute the Sterling Grove into an Enchantress's Presence, which seems pretty good. Honestly, bolted face may have just been better. Because then you just win in a turn. Like, now she's got 2 draw steps under the moat. She probably plays Humility too, would be my guess. She's on 2 cards, no engine, but she does have... Yeah, I think she's going to look first, then Sterling Grove would be my bet. Like, you should Sterling Grove here. If you don't have an answer, like, you want to just get a Humility and just win the game. Like, Humility is just like, all right, good game, man. Like, you can do jack and shit. So are you going to get the Humility? No. Okay. Well, maybe she's going to live dangerously. I don't know. Up to 22 life. If he has any burn, she'll just die. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Caracas. Well, Caracas is... That's so miserable if you're ML. You're just like, God damn it, Michelle. Like, come on, man. I I actually kind of want to see her win. I'm sorry, ML. Like, I think your deck is cool. But her deck is definitely unique. It definitely showed the green decks of the world who's boss. I feel like I could beat this deck with 4-color blood on a pretty regular basis. Yeah, it does have a lot of permanents that the deck is not set up to deal with in an extremely robust manner. But our board has some answers. Has like 2 specific answers to enchantment and artifact threats. Um, you know, post sideboard plus some decent main deck options. Maelstrom Pulse, Vindicate, Kasali Pride Mage, to name a couple. Plus, I guess you have Ewit if you're able to use one of them previously. Well, there's an Ewit. You probably get, what, the card engine more than likely? I could just get the flyer. Or Idyllic Tutor. Yeah, okay, to get all of the flyers. So with this we'll get, although she already has the tutor in play, she has Sterling Grove. I guess she wants Shroud. Okay, Shroud makes sense. Yeah, like, what's he going to do against it? Like, he can't fly, realistically. Could try to burn her out with, like, Bonfire of the Damned, but, like, that's not even that good. Like, you need to have a crap ton of mana to do that. 28 life, but I mean, if she ever gets the sigil of the Empty Throne, then she'll just win. This is going to be a slow game, guys. So let's go check out another one. Oh, this was the match I was showing you, the hatred match. I call it the hate match. Blood Moons and Chokes, like, and a Johnny's, like, all the LD. Just redonkulous. Just miserable games. Just haymaker after haymaker. But both decks can do it. That's kind of what I was trying to show you. Is like, you can try to hate it out, but like it can hate you out back. And it's got a lot of answers to stuff. It's very flexible cards. Griff's Boon's cool. It's supposed to be a boarded match, and maybe he knows he's playing against like a moat. Now he wants to fly over. It's Green X match, so that makes sense. Green X, flying and first strike are relevant. Being on one land is horrendous, though. What did he keep? He kept a hand that's going to lose. It's almost for sure. Ooh! Ooh! Yeah, I think Saknalis' deck is actually very close to our own. It's very close. Not identical, though, because we did see that he had a different Liliana, but like the Liliana that he probably replaced is like the $120 one, whatever the hell that thing is now. It's like retardedly expensive. Albeit, it deserves that. It's the second best Planeswalker probably ever printed, next to Jace the Mind Sculptor. Then again, I mean, we just saw Chandra. Chandra can do a number 2. I mean, it's definitely a red card, not a blue card, but you don't get to actually draw them. But it also kills them, too. I guess Jace does, but just much more slowly and painfully. Jace's still a better card than Chandra. That's for sure. On an open board, nothing really beats Jace, especially if you get to untap with it. I'm sure there's a way to remove that. Protection Black is not irrelevant, but it's not the most relevant either, especially when you're drawing a bazillion cards. Although he will be as well, but you're going to be giving him 1/1s every time, so the clock is just upping. All right, Garruk Relentless blowing up the Soltari. Did find his land, though, which means if he finds another, I could see him exploding out. Like his hand could just explode. Let's jump back over and see what's going on in Enchantress. All right, we're searching for Sigil of the Empty Tomb. Does not put the Dryad Arbor in play. Must have needed all the mana to make her first 4/4. There's an Atarka, which is something that can pretty easily be bounced back. You may just get Humility now and be like, hey, what are you going to do? Atarka's good. Quarantine Field. Okay, well, you're going to zap all of her crap. Might as well just zap the Atarka. I mean, you kind of have to. You don't want to like give that thing recursion. Eventually, the Grove can become an answer or a win con at some point, ML should probably concede. I don't think this is winnable. Unless he's running like spells that are enchantment removal. I tend to always try to run some spells that are enchantment or artifact removal. Some folks don't. I think it's relevant because, especially if you're playing a card that like your deck that dies to like moon effects. because they're actually more flexible than you think. Like, you know, when you're running like just a disenchant effect is like pretty good. You can blow up an artifact land, you can blow up a sword, blow up a hanger back walker. Not really the best use of it. Maybe before it gets big, I don't know. You know, but there's a lot of things you can get with it. Birthing pod, huge. I tend to like to blow birthing pod out with like stuff like containment priest. That's why I have it board, as well as the Aven Mind Sensor. But I also have answers to it, you know, in the form of like Hooligan's Command, Kasali Pride Mage, etc. But I would rather get them to. I'd rather use their leverage against them, kind of like I guess, a judo match, if you will. Force them to commit as far as they can until they're like beyond the point of no return, and then when they fail, or when you cause them to fail, you know, they can't get back from it. The flyer's not irrelevant. Neither are the 1/1s though. Especially at 8 life to what, 12? Yeah, he's winning the race. Although the Thoughtseize is not going to help him with that. Gets rid of the Brahmas. Yep. That was an epic haymaker. Just like, do it. Just do it. All right, the flyer is dead. Not giving him any cards. Not sharing the monarchy love. Oh, all right. What's going on over here? All right, there's this thing. There's a card engine now. There's a hobble. Just another clunker. You get back your what? Your Dark Depths Thespian stage very slowly. I mean, that's gonna take for friggin' ever. I almost said the F bomb, but that's gonna take forever. Why is this thing at 2? It got something back. What did it get back? Oh, it got back that stupid effing the 7 drop, the land thing. They'll get what? Tech Edge to blow up what? I don't even know. I don't know. This feels pretty over to me, guys. Feels like ML could have conceded a long time ago, but I guess he wants to kind of see what she's doing. Commune with gods, finding some nonsense enchantment, I would assume. Commune, worship. Worship's an unbeatable card for his deck, probably. Cast out, it's good. Cast down actually may be the right card because like he can slowly as hell get back his Dark Depths combo and try to like fly over. Yeah, she puts cast down, and that's actually, I think that's a strong play. I think that's a good play by her. And it just deals like random flyers, I suppose. Not that like she's gonna be hurting for cards whatsoever anymore. Speaking of like epic level, like just haymaker cards, this card is just dumb. Like, come on. She has Dramoka's command, it's a huge blowout though. It's like, hey, deal with it. It's a bunch of damage. It does nothing really though. Like in the long term, it does nothing. It just does a bunch of damage. Could like dump all the mana into it. Who is this? Oh, okay. It's one of Seknelis's friends, I assume. Game's still over. Can search for Shriekmaw and hardcast Shriekmaw and win the game. Yeah. Shrikemaw game. If his deck's built like mine is, Shrikemaw's in the deck. And you just go for it here with him tapped out. That's table talk. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Goldie. That is a Shrike Maw, though. I mean, I guess you could plus it, too. No, you can't plus it. That's nonsense. You just -1 on the wolf. On the wolf. And, no, he's just gonna, I guess, attack him. Shrike Maw was the right play, though. Maybe he took it out. Shrike Maw doesn't come out in this matchup, though. If you're running it, you don't take it out in this matchup. That's not good. You do. That's a card you want to leave in for a creature-based matchup. Why would you throw out the Marchesa? I mean, he dies. If he blocks there, he dies. Misclick? Nah, it happens. I mean, he's gonna die. Like, this is still lethal. Like, he had to block this stupid thing, or else he died. Which lends credence to attacking with all. I mean, you just attack with all and you still win. Actually, you don't even need to do the elegant Shriek Maw play that I was talking about. Yeah, I think he is playing our deck, or very close to it with some budgetary options put in. Michelle's still at 15 life, still friggin' doing something. Okay, well, you still can sit there and do nothing. You're gonna time out before her too, man. Unfortunately, I mean, I honestly think at this point, like, all right. I mean, what do you get back? Natural Order into a big flyer? Natural Order into Reclamation Sage? I suppose. But no, you can't do that because then you have to target the Sterling Grove. And targeting Sterling Grove is bad. That's very bad. Doesn't have white mana, so like what flyer could he have? Could just have a dragon. Could have like no, that doesn't work. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm being stupid. That only gets green critters. I think he could have like just a big ass dragon, but that doesn't do it. Okay. Well, the Yalamaya Hollow is still up, so if she wraths, I suppose. Getting rid of the Lambolt Pacifist, which is actually a pretty cool card. Like that card is definitely worthy of some attention, I think. If you have a deck that can like reasonably, like Stompy would use it. That'd be kind of a cool archetype to look at. Is like not like Green Ramp, because mono Green Ramp is kind of a thing. It's a thing that a lot of people do. Not a lot of people, but it's been done. It's just like Stompy in 100 card. You know, like cheap, efficient pump spells. Like the most efficient green critters. Kind of like a red deck wins, but you don't have burn. You just have pump. I don't know. I mean, it seems a lot worse than red deck wins because there's just like dies to Doomblades and shit. But you know, it's an idea. I don't know. It may be fun. I built kind of a deck like that. I need to really study like the best like 1-drops of green, like the best 1-drop aggressive critters of green to do it. I've not historically been a green player. I obviously am right now in the 100-card singleton event, and I'm playing essentially a green X deck because they're the best. Acidic Slime blowing up, the Sterling Grove, or maybe the Enchanted Forest. I don't know. All you can do is target that, and she's just gonna pop it and get like Sigil of the Empty Throne or whatever. This is not strong. You probably at least want to get like, I don't know, like Woodfall Primus. Woodfall Primus, maybe it's out of the deck, but Woodfall Primus at least if like there's a Wrath, like can blow some other junk up, like blow up the moat, at some point in time. Maybe he doesn't play it though. It is a big card. It's a lot of mana. She'll get Sterling or Sigil of the Empty Throne here, I would assume, if she has like 1 to 2 enchantments in her hand. That'll put her in good stead to start mopping up the board. Enchantress's Presence. All right, she's gonna go after cards. She's gonna bleed him out of time. Just bleed him dry. Poor guy. Yeah, I did like the cast down play she made though. I think that was a strong play There's a strong line on her part. I think the more obvious play was a different card. I forget what it was. I think it was like some card engine card. Where was it at? Whatever. There was another card in there I think would have been obvious to a lot of players, or would have seemed obvious. Just double enchanting this thing. I mean, like, honestly, why not? Well, actually, it's probably right to put it on something else. I guess, yeah, fair. I mean, if he does attack, like, you don't want that thing to attack you. Everything else just attacks for, like, you know, a little bit of damage. Well, actually, it's probably lethal with this thing included, the Raging Ravine. The Utopia Sprawl, I think you want to put that on an untapped land, but hey, whatever. That's cool, too. Well, the heat is on. Like, he needs to draw hot now. And he's done 2 natural orders. Deathrite Shaman, well, Deathrite Shaman can't do shit, can it? He doesn't have black mana, so he can't drain her out. Yeah, I don't like his spot. Oh, there's uncontested cliffs. That means his beast that he doesn't have can fight other beasts, or fight other things, I guess. Could be Woodfall Primus, because he didn't play it before, maybe. Alright, it's getting another natural order. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. So this is Den Protector, more than likely. If it's not, then it's the Death Mist Raptor and it's just garbage. It's not. He would have just done it right there. You can do it right here. And just win the game. Well, not win the game, but no, you could actually. You blow up the moat. No, you couldn't quite. You just do 4 plus 4, 8 damage, and then lethal on the next turn. All right, Almiri's Call getting a what? Enchantress, probably. Would be my best guess. Oh, Primeval Titan, getting her land combo. Okay. That's also very good. Sorry, guys. We're gonna check out what Sung is sending us. It looks like it's probably a funny moon anecdote. Oh, Zur. Oh, awesome. That Zur is actually really cool looking. I mean, I kind of like the old bat art better. I'm just familiar with it. I've played a decent bit of 1v1 Zur. I guess that shows you what kind of human I am. Just a terrible, terrible man. Oh. Grinding away. Just plinking away. Alright, that's a lot of cards. It's a whole bunch of cards. Alright, just making a best. Alright. Well, this guy died. How did he die? Did he fight him? Oh, he fought him. He's a beast. He's a lizard beast. Sweet. I didn't know he was a lizard beast. You should have told me, little buddy. Lizard beast. I did not know his creature type. I mean, I guess why not, right? Like, what the hell does it matter? You might as well, because, I mean, if it draws you into, like, an answer to, like, something that blows up the moat. Although, I think at this point, if the moat gets cracked, like, you're effed. Oh. That's, it's now or never time. Have it or don't. If you don't have it, you're dead. If you have more enchantments, though, I think you cast them out to a point at which you cannot anymore or until the point at which you cannot no longer activate the depths. If this is just some nonsense, I mean, it's 2 attacks, though. Is Atark dead? Atark is not dead. All right, Worm Coil Engine. Doing nothing. Uncoil Engine's a, I don't know. I think it's a card of bygone eras. Oh, oh no. Oh no. And pacifism. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about standard. You can't like, there's not, it's tough to make sophisticated plays in it. All right. Oh, wow. So they're going to a game 3. Yikes. I'm just down to the wire. So she, I'm going to give it to her, though. Like, I kind of like how she's played this. Like, she could have just forced him to concede, too, just not attacked him. Be like, hey, have it. You know what I mean? Like, would that be wrong? No, I don't think so. Like, if you have Mastery of the Unseen, you just start manifesting crap, gaining life. Alright, I always love to see draft decks, although what I like seeing more than draft decks are how people picked. I love drafting. This looks aggressive. Alright, so Defiant Kenra, no good, no good. Firebrand Archer's okay. Right, you have the Amit. The Amit's good. Puncture and Blow's fine. Oh, Magbrot's good. Our Glory is slow, but it's not bad. The Ceradon's fine. Alright, removal. Bone Picker's good. You have 2 of these. Sand Strangler looks interesting. 2 deserts. Okay, both the cycling type. Nice. And 2 different colors. Lethal Sting, cool. This is a good card. Sure Shot, Blooded Bet, that's a flyer. Thorn Moloch's no good, but it's filler. Wretched Camel. These could be pretty strong, actually. Berserker Kenra's obviously a good card. Kenra Eternal's kind of junky. It's a clunker. Battlefield Scavenger's better than the Defiant Kenra's. It's very aggressive. It's one of those decks like gets ahead and stays ahead because it hits its 1 or its 2 and its 3 and then just starts killing everything. Dustwatch Recruiter. Well, I can win fast. All she needs to do is buy time. This thing's flipping. You gonna bolt it or not bolt it, but path it or something? If she can just drop a moat, the game's locked, probably. Getting in there. Yeah, there's a Nissa. More land. ML could win this in like 3 minutes, in 20 seconds. Certainly doable. Certainly doable. No, I can't even spell. No, pacified. Okay. Oh, not this. Gain some life. Yeah, no, that's a good deck. I mean, that's definitely a very good deck. I mean, it's just very aggressive. Like, you can't beat a value deck for its life. You know, here you just buy Finks. Just buy time. Just force him to play it out. Like, just force. Oh, okay. Well, you don't have Finks then. What do you think he has? Maybe she's worried. Oh, yuck. Well, if she had kept removal, she was prescient to this Garbo. Like I used to run him in my board, and he's good. And he's actually very good against this deck. Actually, very good against this deck. Why'd she? Oh, she overtapped, or he overtapped because of the Kralin Horde Howler. Never said that card's name till just now. Humility, Moat. What do you got? What have you got? Feels like a moat. Or it could be like the big flyer, that big like 5/5 hexproof dummy. Yeah, it's her. Okay, it's Sigarda, Host of Herons. Bound to make it a game. Yeah, that thing's a wall. It's a big wall of lard. Could just have a Primeval Titan win. If you get the draw sometimes, you got the draw. You know what I mean? There's the Primeval Titan. Just fucking running over. Now you need like Caracas Moat. Not a big feat. 5 cards out of 86. 6 cards. You're going to draw one. Yeah, Caracas Moat would do it. Or Wasteland Moat would be probably acceptable. Look at all the values she's eschewing, though. Like, didn't even get or he's eschewing. He doesn't even get like a Dwarven Miner ping in to get that pesky Taiga. She assumes some decent risk here, so actually you don't want to have draw. Caracas is a heartbreaker draw. You need Wastelander Tech Edge right now. Nope. Well, what have you got? What have you got? Oh, one of her own. But against... So, what do you get here? I mean, you probably have to kill the Nissa Sage Animist. You get Tech Ed? No. Okay, that's a good double answer. And then he'll attack, but you can't really block the prime time because it's going to get 2 removal cards too. Okay. No, DB. DB. Top decking like a champion. I mean, these are haymakers. All right, there that goes. Could just have like a path or a plow or something and block this silly thing. All right, he goes for his 2020. Whoop-de-doo, 2020s. Burning up 2 lands. I mean, you got a prime time, though. Prime time is one of those cards, guys. Like, I know I'm playing 4X green because I just think the deck is more fun to play, but I think prime time and Birthing Pod are just like some of the more bonkers cards in this format. Like, just once they resolve, it's just like they're so game warping. Like, unbeatably game warping. Doesn't... Random map. Random map, recurse Caracas, flip Merit Lage. Merit Lage is now forced. He's going to time her out. Or she's going to time him out. Michelle, you a badass. You're going to time him the F out. Just force him to win. Hey, go ahead, win. This thing's going to flip. You can draw a bazillion cards, but that's going to take forever. You got 52 seconds. Wow. Try to get some rest, man. I'm not a competitive Magic. Well, I mean, I've played in competitive events, but I'm not a competitive Magic player. Not at heart, really. I mean, if this format was played competitively around where I'm at, then yes, I would. You're still gonna clock, dude. You are gonna clock out. Then I would play competitively then. But all she gotta do is like mastery a couple things, force you to react to some triggers and whatnot. Play a Kirtari's Desire just to stall you out. You gotta manage that clock, man. You gotta manage that clock. Yeah, clocked. Rough beat though, because I mean, it looked like he was winning that game. His draw was pretty hot though. All right, guys. Well, that was the event for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna jump in here. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I won. Believe I won it 1-2. I think. Or, I'm sorry, 2-1. No, it was 2-0. It was 2-0 result. We'll see. I think it was. Should be good. I think. 1. All right, there we go. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video series. Again, 4-color blood, hell of a deck. Well, hopefully there'll be some reform soon in the format. But if you solely want to win, this is the deck I would play every time. I'm kind of doing it right now to prove a point that this is just a dominant strategy. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and take care now.